do this.
The
Yeah.
creepiest thing. So
What?
I had a dream that I had to kill an evil clown that was trying to kill my sister, but we weren't. Me and my sister.
We already
were like,
reviewed it.
I know, but trust me, it pays off. We were like different kids, and then I woke up today, and so Josh's birthday was last week.
Yes.
So we dumped all these balloons in his room, and so this morning
They're still
when
in
he
there,
left,
by the way.
yeah, I know there was one in the hallway. It was the red one.
Oh, I put that there.
You put that there?
Yeah.
It was right in front of the bathroom, and I was like, I'm going back to bed. So I skipped my first class and went back to bed.
Wow, wait, really?
Yeah.
Me putting the balloon in the hallway
I
made
was
you
like,
skip?
not ready for the day. Gotta start again.
Oh my god,
Wow.
that's incredible. What are you? Oh, you guys watching one of the episodes?
I put on that scene where it's the wild, like,
Oh, the
hallucinated
trippy thing?
trip that,
Yeah.
like, I love seeing.
Yeah.
Just 'cause I forgot about it. Yeah.
All right. So we have a new member on the podcast today.
Hi.
We already introduced the other two like 2 episodes ago.
Hello.
So why don't you tell us who you are?
I'm Nathan.
Nathan for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you do?
I mostly like sleep and read comics and then go to class.
The best.
That's pretty much it.
Cool. So what made you want to do the podcast?
You offered
Yeah.
to have me on, and I was like, sure, that sounds fun.
Awesome.
So
Cool.
if I just, like, offer you cocaine or something.
Yeah, I got a boatload of cocaine.
It'll be 50,
I mean, I'm homeless.
50-50.
That's
I may
why
have to
you're
flip
homeless,
a coin.
man. You're leaning on the cocaine.
Oh yeah,
crutch.
if you don't know,
Jeez.
Dante is homeless. It's a running gag.
That's
He
why
on
he's
the
totally
show.
naked right
Another
now.
gag.
He's
that
also totally naked.
I don't know if always.
Yeah, I was-
naked.
He's not usually naked. He just comes into this room and takes off all his clothes.
Yep.
Yeah,
if you guys
I was
noticed it
wondering
too.
about that, but
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense now.
Yeah,
Every-
I'm glad you waited.
Every single time I come to this room, I bring in iced coffee, and I don't even really drink coffee.
Yeah.
I've just been doing it, see if anybody picked up on it, and it's just a little gag for myself. I mean, if you can't laugh yourself, then, you know, how are you supposed to be happy in life?
Exactly. By the way, we're doing a Rick and Morty episode. We've been trying to record a Rick and Morty episode since basically the season 3 ended, and here we are. We're finally doing it. So
We made it. Yeah, we wanted to have that Szechuan sauce.
We tried to get the Szechuan sauce.
Yeah.
It failed.
It's now in the
that was
eBay
so
ether.
upsetting.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
many people got Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, did you see
There's-
those videos of those
I feel
people?
like McDonald's fucked that up. I don't know what they
Yeah.
were trying to do.
They're selling it online now too for like thousands of dollars,
Yep.
like new Szechuan sauce.
That'd be great if I had thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Szechuan sauce.
Did you guys see the videos of the people freaking out at McDonald's?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I don't know if it was a joke, but the guy who was like, "I'm Pickley." That guy.
Oh, I
who-
don't
there's a guy
remember
who
that one.
jumped on the counter.
yeah.
Like,
He like pulled his shirt over his
Yeah.
head, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, that was fucked up.
Wow.
I was like, I know a lot of people were pissed off at the fans. I was also a little like,
I wonder
was
if
like,
it
they're
was
kind
just
of making
like
us
a-
look bad by
My
doing
friend
stuff
stopped
like that.
watching the show because he says he hates the fans so much. And I'm like, I mean,
Yeah,
any
I don't-
show has fans.
If
Like,
you
that-
ever
isn't that
go
how it
on
goes?
like the Rick and
Subreddit?
Morty subreddit,
Oh,
like it's everyone who's just like, I watch Rick and Morty, so I'm superior to everyone else.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and that's really frustrating.
This season was alright, you know.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
Like I guess
Overall,
kind of like we
alright.
did with
Not my favorite.
Yeah, it
Just
wasn't my
okay.
favorite.
kind of like we did with BoJack. I think we should go around the room and just mention our first initial thoughts on the whole season, and then we'll go into episode by episode.
Definitely.
All right, so let's start with Dante.
Wasn't my favorite. I kind of came in with a lot of expectations, and then it just ended, and it wasn't my favorite.
Yep. All right, Tim.
Yeah, I feel pretty similar. I think also because, I mean, they kind of work on hype. They, like, delayed the season, or not delayed, but I mean, it was so long since season 2, and I thought season 2 was amazing. So I was pretty hyped up for it. And especially even with the first episode, like when the first episode dropped on April Fool's Day, I thought that was an awesome episode. It like quickly kind of got us out of what happened at the end of season 2, but I don't know. I just felt like there were definitely some lull moments. I even think personally, I thought there were like some couple lull episodes this season. So overall, yeah, definitely not my favorite season. So yeah.
Cool. All right, Nathan.
I was into it until like the very end.
Mhm.
I thought it was really good up until that point. It had me had my full attention, and it just kind of fell off.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was good overall. Probably my favorite season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, cool. So we got
Alright.
some contrasting views. This will be interesting. All right,
Because
Evan.
this is my least favorite season.
Least
easily.
favorite season.
Yeah. No, it was
I'd have to
mostly
agree on that
lull
one.
episodes. Like Tim said, there were a couple. I think there was a lot more than just a couple. They sort of tried to do what South Park did and make a story that went throughout the entire season. And I
The
don't
divorce,
think.
right?
Yeah, the
Basically?
divorce, and I
Yeah.
don't think that lends itself to the kind of comedy and the style that the show was going for 2 successful seasons. And we saw at the end that they're correcting that for season 4, so hopefully that'll be better. But yeah, I don't think they hit the highs that they did in the past.
All right. So as with BoJack, I feel like I tend to fall in between some of you guys. I don't think it was my favorite season, but I also don't think it's as bad as like you guys are sort of making it sound. Like I actually
season sucked.
Yeah. No, like I actually appreciated that they kind of were going for that character arc and story arc element with the whole divorce thing. I think this show and these characters really lend themselves to a lot of like dissection and in terms of like who they are and what they represent for people in the world. Like personally, the Pickle Rick episode, as like memey as it is, like the whole thing with the therapist, the whole monologue at the end with the therapist, like, yeah, it wasn't funny, but it's incredibly important to like sort of just get to know Rick on a deeper level and as a character.
I definitely agree. I loved that whole ending scene. I think actually the problem with that episode, everyone blowing up like Pickle Rick is funny in that episode, just that he's turned himself into a pickle. But I think it was funnier this whole like stupid mafia film essentially that they just made up and then he just gets dropped into, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah.
I think there were funnier aspects to that episode than just him being a pickle.
Yeah.
That was by far one of my more like. I like that episode more than a lot of the other ones, just because of the therapist like scenes.
Yeah, and there are scenes like that throughout the entire season, and it's just like it was very sort of introspective and really character driven and character. There's a lot of character exploration in this season, and especially like even like Morty. Like Morty grows so much throughout this whole season. Like he's a completely different person than he was in season 1. And that's important when you have a show like this. That's where like, I guess BoJack Horseman sort of does that to an extent. But like when you have a show, when you have like a consistent show, like an animated TV show, sometimes you want to keep your characters the same, kind of like a baseline character throughout the entire series. But like, what's really important to me is that Rick and Morty, these characters are like growing and becoming different. And I think this season was just an important step in that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I am excited to see them kind of go back to their roots a little bit, maybe in season 4, if that is what they're actually going to do.
My one big thing was like 10 episodes,
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was the finale for some reason. I just like watched it and I was like, okay, can't wait till episode 11. And then my friend was like, I can't believe it's the last episode. They're not going to come back forever. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then I was really sad.
Yeah. 10 episodes they were supposed
to be 14.
14. That would have been
Yeah.
nice.
4 whole episodes. Wait, why wasn't there though?
Because of all the issues they had with like the writing room and everything and all the disconnect. Because it takes them so long to write it and then to get Justin Roiland and all of them in and then animate that. It just wouldn't work. Which is why everyone thinks there's going to be a Christmas episode or like an actual finale that's super delayed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that would make sense, I guess, because the first episode came so, like, way before the rest of the other episodes.
There's a lot of loose ends that have not been tied up also, and I think I'm a little upset about that. I mean, I'm glad the divorce thing is settled, but like you can't just bring in Evil Morty and then not.
Yeah.
fucking-
Yeah.
He's only been in 2 episodes.
I know, that's so fucking annoying.
which is pretty wild. I mean, that's probably gonna escalate to something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
probably people
Also-
are
Oh,
leaving.
and Phoenix person. We never got
Yeah,
Phoenix
exactly.
person
Yeah.
Phoenix was
to
right.
get back.
I was waiting the entire
Yeah,
season
right?
for him to show up.
Him and Tammy, they flew off, and there's something's gonna happen. All right, so actually, we've been kind of jumping around.
So we should probably.
We
go
should probably,
through
we should
episode.
probably go episode by episode. So why don't we start with the Rick
Let's
Shank
do it.
redemption?
The Rick Shank redemption. I watched this one so many times. just
Yeah, me
'cause,
too.
Like, when
I think
first
it's probably
came
one of my
out-
favorite episodes.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I mean, it started the whole Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
true.
Yeah.
Craze.
But
Um,
even just like when he tricks the guy and he's just like, yeah, that's actually not the formula. Just that whole thing escalating to him literally killing all these people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was a
watched
brilliant start to the season. It really showed off their genius with because it was just like they could have devoted the entire season to Rick breaking out of prison.
Yeah.
They
And
just did the
instead
first
they
episode.
devote like
Yeah.
the first 10-15 minutes of
I
the
think
first
their
episode.
point in that is to show that Rick is actually the smartest person
Yeah, seriously.
ever.
But and that was it too, because it was like just random April Fools trying to fuck with everyone. They actually released a new episode, and it was so good. That's what really made me like so hyped for it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this season's gonna be absolutely insane. They wrapped up what I thought would take. Me too. Like I thought, oh, Rick's in prison. I mean, he's really smart. He's probably gonna get out. But how are they gonna do it? They did it easily in just like 30 minutes. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, this is gonna be an incredible season. And yeah, there were definitely some really funny episodes. I thought ones I liked a lot, but overall, I maybe I just hyped it up too much, like to myself.
Yeah, I
you know?
think so.
Maybe
I really
that's-
think that first episode was kind of misleading in terms of like
Yeah.
hype level because
Yeah.
I don't really know if any episode lived up to that episode, for me at least.
Yeah, I don't really know
I don't know.
either. Because
Maybe the Rick Lantis mix-up. I did like that one a lot.
Oh, that one was
yeah,
great.
that was
Just,
really
like,
That was a
good.
great.
So many
yeah.
Mortys.
That was
like,
just
I
a great
loved
like TV episode. Like
Yeah.
let alone Rick and Morty. Like that's just a great.
the chubby
episode of
Morty
television.
cop, and when he's
Yeah.
like, "Hey guys, oh jeez, you know what happened?
the-
Oh yeah, hey, oh geez."
The fact that they pack that much into like a 22-minute
Yeah.
episode is fucking insane.
Yeah.
come home to Simple Rick. That I was.
Wow,
I
that's like
loved-
one of the darkest
I
things.
loved it. I loved it.
Yeah,
That's also skipped.
The other thing is like at the end of Rick Shank Redemption when
Yeah.
Rick is like talking to Morty, he's like, "Oh, it's gonna be our darkest season ever, Morty." Oh no, that is at the end of that
Yeah.
episode. And he says that he's like, "This is gonna be our darkest season ever," and it really like it was dark, but it didn't. It wasn't that dark, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
a kid got shot in the head.
Yeah,
that
like,
happened.
like dark
Yeah.
things happen, but like it wasn't like the darkest.
I just think
episode.
that
I
maybe
think-
if there was more episodes and they didn't have like a whole dispute in the writers' room, it could have got like way darker.
Yeah.
If it didn't just end.
I think so.
What was
Also-
with the dispute? What was?
It was just I don't know. I think direction.
trying to be like perfectionist.
You know what? I'm gonna look.
Well,
it
yeah.
up.
Apparently,
I'm gonna look it up.
there's that reference in one of the episodes, but I know like they're like maybe if you guys were in Morty's Mind Blowers, where Summer's like, yeah, if you guys weren't arguing all the time, you might like, I don't know, hit your deadlines or something like that. And
Okay.
and apparently Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon apparently are known for arguing a lot over a lot of things. So
Yeah.
yeah.
If
That's-
Dan Harmon wasn't there to reel in Justin Roiland, the show would never have made it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen his like early work as
Dan Harmon
a voice actor?
or Justin Roiland.
Justin Roiland.
Oh.
It's so
I've seen like House
fucked
of Cosby's.
It's so fucked up.
Oh,
he-
Everything he
oh,
does
man.
is so over the top and disgusting.
Go home and watch House of Cosby's.
House of Cosby.
It's like it's a whole house of Bill Cosby's.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Well, it was like before all like the allegations
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. So I mean, but it's hilarious.
Damn.
Yeah, I think it's just saying that there was just like problems. They're just like problems, and then they were like, you know, we're gonna end it at 10, because even this, it's just saying.
That's so upsetting. Because really, the finale did not feel like a finale. But we keep jumping
No.
ahead of
Yeah.
ourselves. So
Number 2.
yeah, let's go to
Advancing
number
the
2.
Stone, which was the Mad Max,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
which
That
was
wasn't
pretty
bad.
funny with the
Yeah.
arm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Armathy?
Armathy, yeah.
Yeah.
Armathy was great.
I did like that episode.
That was
too.
pretty
I
good.
mean, even that. I guess what they refer to as dark is, I mean, you can definitely just get away with a lot more in animation.
Mhm.
No matter what you do, like you can show a little kid killing their sibling, and it's kind of funny, just like the way they show it.
Yeah.
But even that, like when fucking Rick takes the energy source of that whole place that he like created.
Oh,
right at the
yeah,
end,
yeah.
It's like the ramifications. That's pretty fucked up. That whole town is just now like shot at.
Yeah, and they're all gonna go right back to
But it just
killing each other.
he leaves. That he doesn't care, obviously, and we don't
Yeah.
really care either because we're with
Yeah.
Rick. You know,
It's
But
like
that's
another
kind of dark,
adventure.
I guess, in a sense. But because it's animated, I think there's a level to that just instantly makes me laugh.
Yeah, that episode also has one of my favorite jokes with the ball washer and taint washer.
Oh,
You guys remember
yeah.
that?
What was the
He
exact?
was the guy was in the bathtub and he's like, "Graze my taint again, ball washer, and it'll be off with your head. And as for you, taint washer."
Yeah, I remember that.
That's really good.
Yeah, it was great.
He forgets to like strangle him to death
Yeah.
completely, and then Rick just like.
Oh
helps
yeah,
him
yeah,
out.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
I guess
Pretty
that's
good.
That's pretty dark too.
that was a solid episode. It was nice to see, like, I like the part where Rick was like, "Yeah, my wife or my daughter's going through a divorce right now, and I am not handling it very well."
Yeah.
That was pretty good too.
Yeah.
What else happened in that episode that
I'm trying
I'm
to think,
forgetting?
so-
The Blood Dome,
Blood Dome.
Blood
yeah.
Dome.
Dome
that
stuff.
was-
It's basically just.
and
I
then
think,
Summer going off to
Oh.
Seattle and killing everything, and then falling in love.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Summer and Morty
With
trying
the
to, like,
Buckethead guy.
Yeah.
So Morty's handling it with rage, the
Yeah.
divorce, and then
Mhm.
Summer goes through her own little marriage and divorce, and like lives through exactly what her mom's going through.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that was another thing. Like the giant arm was in search of its previous owner's killer. And that's,
Oh,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and it
Yeah,
had like
that was the
emotion
whole-
to it. The arm was. Like,
Yeah, it was like
talking.
it was like muscle memory. I
Yeah,
think, was
yeah,
how
yeah.
it was.
That was
Imagine
was
if that
really
was
good.
real.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good
It was
episode.
definitely okay. Like it was a pretty good episode.
It was a good.
I was like, okay.
It was a good episode too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then number 3, they came in with Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick, which we already kind of talked about, but we could go more in depth. I don't know how I feel about Pickle Rick.
Do you guys think that Pickle Rick is when they started kind of falling off the ladder?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't. I actually think the next episode is kind of where they start from the Vindicators 3.
Vindicators
true.
is the worst episode.
I did not think it
I
was
th-
good.
yeah.
I don't
mean,
really
thought it
even
was a cool
remember
idea.
I thought it was
happened.
all right.
That's when like we get introduced to and this was what was weird, and I thought like I made a mistake as I'm watching, is because apparently they've been on this Vindicators like adventure, but they've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
shown it. So
That was kinda
kind of
funny.
funny for
Yeah.
them to bring up. Vindicators went on an adventure with Rick and Morty once.
Yeah.
Then the Vindicators went on another adventure and didn't invite Rick and Morty. And now this is the third one where they actually needed more help and they invite Rick and Morty. So that's why Morty's pissed, like, yo, they don't
Yeah.
like us. Like, you've done
Yeah.
something, you
You
ignore
know-
them. But he goes on this whole, like, Saw-esque trail of, like,
Yeah.
fucking with them,
Yeah.
which was pretty crazy.
I thought that was kind of
But
funny.
Logic shows up at the end.
Yeah. Oh, fuck
And
that. I hate Logic.
So I thought that
And
was stupid.
I think I just kind of like pinpointed what is most upsetting to me about this whole season. It's just that like Pickle Rick, they're like tackling the whole like Die Hard action movie trope
Mhm.
or that whole genre, right? With
Yeah.
with Pickle Rick. And then in Vindicators, it's just like the Avengers, whatever.
Yeah.
They're tackling like the
Ant-Man.
superheroes are all
Million
just blowing up.
Ants-Man.
But like those are like, and Mad Max.
Mhm.
That's just Mad Max. Mad Max just came out, so yeah, why not make a Mad Max episode? I feel like in other seasons they've gone really, really hard at originality, at really original ideas, or maybe just callbacks to ideas, or like homages to really small ideas, like in like a fucking Lovecraft book or something, like something that no one would really know
the
about.
Yeah.
TV episode.
Yeah, but in this
Right.
season, they really kind of like stole other ideas.
And I mean, and I don't think they've like the Look Who's Purging Now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Purge.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's their take on that. So it's definitely not the first time, but I think you're right in that they did it way more this
Yeah,
season than
they really relied
Yeah.
heavily on other genres and
It's like they became less pop culture as a show by trying to lean on other pop culture
Right.
references.
Yeah.
definitely. I think
Yeah.
that's what did it for me.
I think it was a cool episode.
I think
you know.
maybe they're just going through like that phase where when they get like super popular, when a show
Yeah.
gets super popular, it starts to get like a little washed out.
Yeah.
And
They had to bring in a bunch of writers and stuff.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
there's like the disputes in the writing rooms are like reflected on all the episodes.
Like I was going back and watching the other seasons like pretty recently, and like you could name any season from season or any episode from season 1, and most of them are from season 2, and it's like I couldn't tell you what they're referencing. I couldn't tell you like maybe the Inception episode with
Right.
fucking Scary Terry,
Which is awesome.
you know, yeah, which is also hilarious. But like you got like the Meeseeks episode, you got fucking like the interdimensional cables, which I thought
Yeah,
I
just love
always
that.
loved.
Yeah.
I think
This
there
is
was
the least quotable season.
Yeah, without
I
a doubt.
I think there was one. It was the one. It wasn't the interdimensional cable like episode, but it was the one where they were in the hospital and Jerry was in the hospital. And
Oh, he's getting his penis. That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that's interdimensional cable too.
Oh, it is. And then
We should also like say our favorite episodes once we.
that was
yeah.
probably one of my favorites
Yeah.
because it's like he like looks at the girl getting coffee and then
Oh, yeah.
it's like
How did I get here? How did she get there?
Rick's like, don't go near the coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of those skits that they make of, and they're like, "Oh man,
Fucking
Samuel L.
hilarious.
Johnson."
Yeah, yeah. Baby legs.
The commercial
Oh, man.
that like follows him back home.
Yeah.
He's still in. the
Hey
commercial.
everybody, and then Rick's
Oh,
like,
and the
no, I
fucking-
think Morty's freaked out.
The
by it.
fucking personal space guy. And it's like
Oh,
one
oh my
personal
God.
space, 2 personal space. It's
Yeah.
classic.
Two brothers.
when they
is
do
the
the
best.
Two-
SNL,
two
oh,
brothers.
piece of toast, Jorny Norny Norn. They just go.
A hole in the wall where the men can see it all. What?
Oh my god, that was those.
And
Yeah.
then there's like an alien pops up and he's like, I'll get back to that later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
classic.
returning for his 25th year, Bobby Moynihan. And just
Yeah.
looks tired.
Seriously, and like Evan just said, like this is definitely their least quotable season.
Yeah.
For
I-
sure. I mean, I
like-
guess like I'm Pickle Rick, but
That's one.
that's
a-
one.
that's-
quote that they-
I cannot think of another
Yeah.
quote from this season.
Here's kind of how I see. Like I see Pickle Rick. Okay, take it or leave it, kind of with just how overall it was. Vindicators, I just wasn't really a fan of. I think it kind of picked up with the Whirly Durly conspiracy
Yeah.
and the next one, Rick Laxation. That whole thing of like their
Oh,
bad
was-
sides.
Yeah, the toxic.
That was
yeah,
really
toxic
cool. I
Rick,
thought
yeah.
that was kind of original. I did like
That was great, yeah.
and even I guess we should start with Whirly Durly conspiracy. I loved that episode. I
Yeah,
thought
that
it
was a great
awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
Jerry
Um,
was really in need of like a solid episode to really
Yeah.
explore
Yeah.
his character,
Yeah,
because that was a real turning point for Jerry.
yeah.
That fucking monologue that Rick says to Jerry while he's getting like eaten by that worm thing, and
He's
Jerry's
making
like,
his-
"You pumped 20 cc's of liquid dream killer into my daughter."
Yeah.
That was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant writing. I mean,
Yeah.
like the writing, like dialogue wise, is always great throughout the show.
Yeah.
There was a lot of great stuff in this season. But yeah,
Yeah.
like when he delivers that whole monologue to Jerry, that's a real turning point for Jerry. I think Jerry really starts to understand that like he
Guy almost gives up and
Yeah.
lets himself get eaten.
yeah. But he does that. He's like a prey, kind of like in that episode where Jerry and Beth go to counseling, like that counseling thing, and like there's
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
physical
Their bad parts.
manifestation
Yeah.
of themselves or
Oh.
how they view the other person.
That was a
That's
good
great.
episode.
It's like that's
Yeah.
what Jerry is, like
Yeah.
Jerry he'll play the prey role in order to get what he wants.
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
They kind of touched on that too in the last episode, I think, where
Oh,
they
yeah.
get back together and Rick is just like
Oh,
totally not
yeah.
having it. Where,
Because Beth thinks she's a clone, and she's like,
Yeah.
I can't be the real Beth because I love you. That was fucking heartbreaking, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anything else about Whirly Durly conspiracy?
I mean, just that trippy
Oh yeah,
montage. I loved it. I thought it was
that was great.
crazy what was
Yeah.
going on, and then yeah. I just that was
The
like
montage. What was the shrimp? No, it wasn't Shrimply Pibbles. No, that was the other guy. What the fuck was Risotto Groupon was the
Oh, yeah.
Risotto Groupon.
Yeah.
I love that. What else?
pretty good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm trying
I really liked.
I-
Wes and Rick.
Oh my
Rick
god!
Oh,
that's
wait.
the same episode where Summer fucking blows herself up with the
Oh,
yeah.
thing.
Oh,
And that,
I
those
remember
three
that.
guys in the
I
little
totally
machine.
forgot
That
that.
is one of the funniest.
Yeah,
things.
that was
Yeah,
probably-
and do you see a little button right on there? Yep, just going up. We're free.
That,
and they
yeah,
just
that was a
run
great
out.
gag.
I
Okay,
love
3
that.
guys ran out. Now what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too. Also, that had a really interesting concept with the whole like invincibility shield, or not invincibility, like
Yeah.
the where you couldn't die basically. I thought that was a really interesting concept. Because like he brings Jerry there because he's like worried that Jerry's gonna kill himself or something like that.
Right.
But
Just so that nothing happens, he won't die, anything like that.
Yeah.
And then
And
those
then
two
they
kids,
fuck it up.
those two kids playing.
that was
Yeah.
that was also one of the best like setups to a joke and then conclusions to a joke.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it the first time, I knew something bad was going to happen because
Yeah.
them being there meant that the shield wasn't going to last
Yeah.
because they were there.
That's true. Yeah, for whatever reason, I did not see it coming, and that was incredible. Yeah. It was interesting seeing Rick's kind of be compassionate towards Jerry for a little bit too, when he says like he actually admits like I did put a strain on your marriage.
Right
and-
before.
Yeah,
Jerry's
right
getting
before
ready
Jerry
kill
tries to
him.
kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jerry starts freaking out.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
All right, what was the next episode?
Next one was the
Rest
Rest
in-
and Rick's. Rick
Oh, right.
Relaxation. I can't say that for
Relaxation.
some reason.
Rick Lax.
I tried saying it the first
Relaxation.
time, and it was I
Yeah.
was like Rick Alexa, good Jason.
Oh, and that's the one where it begins and they say like just a really quick in and out,
Oh,
nothing,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
it, like 6 days later they just both start like breaking down.
That was
crying,
that was
"What
one of my
the fuck?"
favorite jokes.
And
Also,
Rick I think says like, Morty, I don't know, man. That was not in my control at all. We easily could have just died at any minute. That was really funny. And then
Yeah.
it goes into this weird, like toxic Rick and Morty, and they show up in like the little alien. Wait, is that the one where they? Maybe not. I'm thinking of the one. Yeah, no, I think that's later when they're in like the alien pet store almost like, and there's like a big alien looking in, and they somehow communicate with someone and have them teleport there. And then they
No,
just
that's
get in
more.
the-
That's Morty's mind
that's
blower.
Morty's
That's
mind
Morty's
blower.
mind blower.
Oh,
Gotcha.
right.
That was really funny. I like
Yeah.
that game.
but
I
Rick
think,
and Relaxation, that
touched
was
a lot on Morty's character.
yeah,
I
that was,
guess.
that was a really solid episode. Yeah, when Morty is like that
He-
fucking pompous douchebag, and,
Oh, yeah,
and then
Wolf
there was
of
like that
Wall
Wolf of Wall
Street-esque.
Street
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
thing. I thought that was really interesting. Also, like on the end of that episode, do you guys think that he left the phone on purpose?
Remind me what happened there?
Is he's like on the phone with Rick, and then he's like, I know you're just trying to have me on the phone long enough to trace the call, and then he like hangs up and he puts the phone on the counter, and then his girlfriend is like, oh, your phone's still on, and then Morty just kind of goes, huh, would you look at that? And like a lot of people on Reddit have like speculated that Morty, I guess like cleansed Morty or whatever you want to call him, he leaves the phone on on purpose so that Rick can track him, so that because he wants his toxic self back.
Gotcha.
Well, it was kind of the same thing too with Rick and his toxic self.
Yeah.
It was like they were good for a period of time, but then I guess it kind of showed that it's like they needed that other side
Yeah.
to like
You
feel.
need the balance within yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was a really interesting episode. I think that was probably one of the most original episodes of the
Yeah.
of the entire season, for sure. Probably one of my favorites actually. I would probably rank that in the top 5, top 3 maybe.
Yeah. I just like the beginning, like
Yeah, that
when
was
they
fucking
lost it
hilarious.
and they start crying.
Um,
Good start. It's a good start to an episode.
And then next is the Reclantis mix-up /
Right,
Tales from
and-
Citadel, which I think that was one of the. I mean, I don't want to just be a bias like, oh, I think the Evil Morty thing is really cool.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Obviously, it's been a while since that plot line was even followed, so I thought it was really cool. Did any of you? This is a question I have. Did any of you guess or say, oh,
yeah.
it's Evil Morty?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't until he got the papers.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit.
No,
Is
I
this
had a
Evil
pretty
Morty
strong
that's getting
feeling.
elected right now? Yeah.
What did it say on the papers, or is it?
It had
I never
pictures
It just
of
had
him
pictures.
with the eye patch.
Okay,
And all, so
because I was like kind of far away from my like
Mhm.
monitor when I was watching it, and then I was like, oh, what did it say? And then
You
I
don't
was-
even really
I had
get that
to
much
leave.
information because he's blown out into space and it just like goes past the screen for a second.
Yeah.
And you just see the photos of like the iPad. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck,
I thought they were gonna
that's
follow that more. In
Oh,
the
and then they
season.
played the music. I think it was the same
For the
music
damage.
from
Yeah.
Yeah,
from
it was
the
the
other
same
one.
music.
So-
Yeah.
So that was.
But yeah, that was like top notch writing. Like as much as you may have not liked the season, like that was a quality like television episode.
Definitely.
Their ability to interweave all of those different storylines into one was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
especially
We got
for like a
Simple
30
Ricks,
minute.
Yeah.
The cop Morty following. Like that was they go to that house and there's like weird crackhead grandpa wearing
Yeah,
sage
yeah.
shit. It was just so funny the different. Oh, and when those
Oh,
kids go down
jeez.
like the wishing well, or it
Oh,
really
yeah,
just turns
yeah.
out to be a dump, but that I think. Well, I don't know what he called himself, but there was like a Southern Rick. He's just like, I don't wear this clothes and talk like this just so you could steal my stuff, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That was really funny. So yeah, all of that. You're right, Evan. Like the fact that they could interweave all that stuff.
Yeah,
And Dante is
So-
right. It was like 22 minutes long.
22 minutes.
So
Which
to
is
get
kind of
all
amazing.
that heavy of an episode
That's
into
insane.
22 minutes is incredible.
Feels like way longer.
I think like overall this season there was a lot of like really good like writing and like I feel like really good episodes, but I think it was just kind of like it's like unorganized or something. I don't know. I kind
Yeah.
of felt
I agree.
It's like a disconnect from their identity.
yeah,
If they'd sort of wrangled it in a little better, I think it would have been their best season easily.
for sure.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
that episode maybe is like my second favorite episode of the season. I really really like how they were able to interweave all the different storylines and really make us care about each Rick and Morty that we see.
Yeah.
Specifically every Rick actually that we see.
So you're saying like behind the first one, that's your favorite one? Or was the
Probably,
first one?
yeah. I think the first
So
one's probably my
being your
favorite.
favorite, and then this one.
I think I would agree. I think that's probably my
I
Yeah.
second
think
favorite.
I think this is my second favorite episode. I really liked how it's all just Ricks and Mortys,
Mm.
but every character has their own totally unique
They
identity.
feel like completely.
They
different
all feel like
characters.
different characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
The whole
Um,
Willy Wonka Rick like coming in and fucking that guy up after he's doing all. that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
All right, we
And-
got your portal gun. The blender dimension. Are you kidding me? And then they just.
Yeah, and then the simple Rick thing
I
is
love
like
it.
that's also just incredibly dark. Like using
Yeah.
the happy emotions to fucking make your wafers or
Because
whatever.
They
realistically-
put it into a wafer so you can eat and have
Yeah.
happy emotions.
I mean,
or
that
whatever.
commercial is being advertised really only in that universe of like the Citadel to just other Rick and Mortys. So
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
Rick's seeing commercials of a Rick basically being held captive,
Yeah.
tortured. I don't know if you would use torture, but just like it's so bizarre. And I love how they're
They're all
aware
okay
of
with
that.
it,
And there's
too.
like some Rick who's just like, I have the same IQ as you, and you're like, I'm doing the completely opposite job that you're doing,
Yeah.
which is pretty funny, the way that works.
Yeah.
But they did it really well.
Trying to remember what else happened in that episode. There's the cop Rick and Morty.
Mhm.
There's the politician Morty.
Right.
There's
The whole Stand By Me thing they're doing.
yeah. The factory worker
Factory Rick.
Rick. That's like five
That's
five
shit.
storylines right there that I just named
Yeah.
That all have an arc.
that all have a
feel like
a
if they
very
could've, like,
great arc.
Put that into the whole season and made it
Yeah.
like so like a lot more just tight knit. Because when I finished watching it,
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, this is I'm like
But
kind of
see,
lost.
what's weird about these guys, and I didn't even realize, but apparently the post credit scene of that episode is the Rick and Morty, they come back
Mhm.
and I think Rick says like, oh, it'll probably have no effect on our lives, like whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what's weird about the show is I remember when Mr. Poopy Butthole was introduced in season 2. I thought that he was going to be like in it for the long, like he was going to be. He hasn't really appeared
Yeah.
since then, even though they kind of made
showed up a little
play
bit,
with that
yeah.
of like, oh yeah, that has something to do with the dimensions and which
Can I-
Rick and Morty's that we're following, but they haven't really done anything with him except for the post credit thing. And who knows, like Phoenix person, we haven't seen
Yeah.
him all season, even though that was Rick's best friend who now has come back to life as like a robot.
Mhm.
Maybe this literally will have no effect on our lives. Maybe they're saying that as like a fact, like, oh, maybe this will have no effect. Yeah, we may never see it
Maybe,
again
yeah.
intertwined. I would like to see it intertwined. I'd like to see like Phoenix person somehow be
Yeah.
combined with Evil
Can
Morty.
I just
the fuck
say
is
one
Evil
thing?
Morty gonna do?
I love the fact that we live in a time where we can say Mr. Poopy Butthole and all of us like totally just be like, yeah,
Like, oh yeah,
totally.
that guy.
Yeah, we all
that guy. We all
always
know
talk
and
about.
love
He's
Mr.
the
Poopy
coolest
Butthole.
guy.
Yep.
That was just hilarious. You mentioned it, and like none of us reacted.
No,
We
yeah.
were
Just
like,
a matter of time before people
Mr.
just
Poopy
calling
Butthole.
their children Mr. Poopy
That'll be a
Butthole.
real name in
Oh
like
my
3 years.
God.
Oh yeah, I hope it is.
Butthole.
It may be a
And
real
then-
name
and then
now.
maybe
Yeah,
one
it
day-
might be. Yeah.
Maybe like 20 or 40 years from now, somebody's running for president, Mr. Poopy Butthole for president.
Once he's old enough. Oh yeah, he hit the.
Yeah, I
age
just
limit.
I had to
Mr.
say that.
Poopy Butthole.
Yeah. Were
I-
you gonna say something? Yeah.
I could see them like touching base on this again, but it being like one episode again, like
Yeah.
because it's the same thing with like the first episode. People thought that they were gonna do it for the whole season,
Yeah.
and they just put it all in the first episode, and it was brilliant. But I don't know. I don't think maybe a few episodes, but probably just one. I think.
I don't know. Are you guys? I guess we could touch on this now. Are you guys more of a fan of the show being sort of kind of like South Park in the way where like each episode is very different and they very loosely follow like a singular story, or would you guys want to see them go the route of a continuing narrative throughout the entire season?
That's tough. Only because I mean, like South Park was doing season arcs for like 18, 19
Yeah.
seasons, and then they were able to fucking do it really well. So I was like, well,
Yeah.
what? Like, okay, if you guys want to do that, sure, whatever. But I don't know. I feel like with Rick and Morty, it's just like they're going on an adventure and they're just doing wild shit. And there's infinite Ricks and there's infinite Morty. So like,
Yeah.
I guess to make one story arc of like our Rick and Morty being like
Yeah.
these guys who are above everybody else in some regard because he's the Rickest Rick and all this shit. Yeah, I think even now, like through the seasons, they're kind of weaving that kind of narrative. So it could definitely build to something. But I don't know. I think some of the best moments from the show are just in these wild adventures. There's something crazy that happens. I'll just say right now, I mean, if we want to talk about favorite episodes of the whole series, I think my favorite episode of all time is The Ricks Must Be Crazy from season 2,
Which was that?
where his battery dies and they go in the microverse.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
I
Stephen
was just
Colbert.
thinking of that.
I think
that
that's my
episode.
favorite episode of the entire
Yeah.
series.
I was gonna mention that.
I think it's just so fucking funny, and not even like their plotline is funny. Summer and the car, in like equally as good.
That's
I mean, we
all-
talk
that's
about
all-
dark.
talk
and
about
the
dark,
baby,
yeah.
like melts and he's like,
Oh my God.
like amazing. I think that is probably my favorite episode of the series. So, I mean, that's just a crazy adventure that they go on. You know, that's it.
I think that if they get their shit together a little bit, it would be good if they followed like a singular plot. But I don't know.
With this
like-
season, yeah, it doesn't seem like they can do. I don't know. I mean, with this season, they didn't really. They just. I forget which
They
one
were
you
doing
said
it very
just, like,
loosely.
jumbled and
Yeah.
not really organized as well. maybe,
Yeah,
as it
yeah.
could have
I
been.
almost would have liked to see them a little bit more organized. I would like if like there was a little bit of that in the last 2 episodes when like Rick maybe is a clone, and then she kind of like has that revelation in the last episode, or it was that there was a nice carryover between episodes. But I would have liked to see that all throughout the season. Like every time we learn something in one episode, I would like to see it carry over into the next one and into the next one and the next one.
Which is tough, maybe
Yeah.
because they just go on these wild adventures
Yeah.
all the time.
Anything else you guys want to
What's
share your
next?
2 cents?
I'm fine with it having like an overarching narrative because like the divorce gave it episodes it couldn't have had otherwise.
Yeah.
Like you can't have Jerry having his alien girlfriend
Yeah.
if he's
true.
if he's still married to Beth.
Yeah, you couldn't
Which
have
episode was that?
That
That
was
was-
one of the later.
one of the later ones. We
So
haven't
that
gotten
might have
to
been,
it
like,
yet.
Yeah, we
second
haven't
to
gotten to
last.
that, but
Yeah.
I'm skipping ahead. But still,
Yeah, we couldn't have had Whirly Dirly Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Well, we maybe could have,
You
but it
could
would have
have.
been different.
yeah.
Because it wouldn't have been like Rick ruining Beth and Jerry's marriage. But yeah.
ABCs of Beth.
But yeah,
Song
that's a
with
good
the,
point.
Girlfriend.
So the next one is Morty's Mind Blowers.
Yeah. Okay.
This
Yeah.
one has one of my like favorite scenes, the one with the squirrels.
Oh yeah.
Come here,
Well, that was
little boy.
Every time I watch that, I'm like, I'm never gonna look at squirrels the same.
I think my favorite. I mean, overall, I didn't really like this episode only because of the ending. Because I thought it was kind of a cheap way to end it. That Summer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she's experienced this, so she just has a way to fix it. Because it seemed like
She
they're
has, like,
pretty
the
fucked.
It felt like kind of an empty episode to me.
Yeah, my favorite like
They could've done a
flashback
lot
Morty
more.
was
Yeah.
the one where Rick is gonna kill the guy who like has an orgasm when he dies, because,
Yeah.
and then Morty just fucks up. He's like, "Oh, it's really cool that you guys have like evidence of the afterlife."
Yeah,
the guy's
yeah.
like, "Evidence? Yeah, you like proof that you like you've." He's like, "Proof?" And then he has these demons. Like that was my favorite, and that
Yeah.
was dark.
And then-
like
and
this
then
guy
Morty-
thinks like his whole life, you know.
and then
and
Morty fucking goes, "Is that not evidence enough?"
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was probably my favorite thing, but I agree. I
Yeah,
wasn't that. I think I actually probably would have preferred an interdimensional. I mean,
that's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
said.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
I would have preferred that.
I was
'Cause
so
those
ready
are
for
always
it.
so funny.
Those
Yeah.
are fucking hilarious.
They're
in-
They're
funny
just the
and-
dumbest shit, but they're so
The
funny.
thing
because they're-
about Morty's mind blowers though is they're funny little bits, but the fact that Morty's like also realizing all this fucked up stuff's going on is getting erased makes it so that the episode can't just end on like a happy random note.
Yeah.
It has to have that serious tone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Maybe I just think maybe if they went a different route in that episode.
Yeah, I don't know.
It
I
could've been
didn't
really
like the
good.
whole like them losing their memories thing. That just felt like such a
Yeah.
cheap way to end.
Yeah.
Like, who am I? I'm an old man, and you're a teenage boy.
Yeah,
It's like I've seen that a million times.
I
I've
was
seen
like,
people
what
lose their memory over and over.
I didn't get it. I
So-
was like, why are we doing this?
It's just like continue the fucking thing with them looking at memories.
And that's like so late in the season. So like by the I don't know. I just
You fucked with squirrels, Marty.
yeah. Maybe it's just a smudge. I think I know.
Oh, the
It's a
smudge thing, yeah.
Mr. Loomis.
That's one that I quote actually every now and then, where it's like some say from a certain angle he looked like a smudge.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. That was pretty funny.
that was pretty good. But
But overall, yeah, I would have loved an interdimensional cable. I love the improvisational tone of
Schmangela, like that kind of just-
Michael and Pikel.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
fucking
Or
good.
the how was the episode? It was like a how it's made episode for the
Oh, the fucking Plumbus.
the
Plumbus.
Plumbus.
Yeah.
To
Then
make
a flame comes. and
It
then-
spits
I
on
think
it.
Gazorb Field is still.
Oh,
Gazorp
because
Gazorp-
oh my
feels
God.
great.
See, like the fact that we could fucking name all of these things
I know.
from previous seasons, and I
Yeah.
could barely do that with this one, and I just watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
I
know?
think like reminiscing on like older seasons now is like bringing back these feelings I had for Rick and Morty that like I didn't have for this
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure. The fucking show me what you got heads,
Oh
like
my
that's
God.
such a great
Swifty.
episode.
Get
Yeah.
Swifty.
Yeah, that episode is so good. I'm trying to think. I mean, yeah. I mean, they even said, "Oh yeah, we're doing this instead of interdimensional cable." I was
Yeah,
like,
and
"Oh
I was
okay,
like, man.
let's see how cool it is." And I don't think it lived up to interdimensional.
It just
cable.
it's like they were interesting little skits, but like also they weren't that funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I did kind of like the can you get the switch on the right and then
Yeah.
he
Oh,
flips
that-
the wrong switch.
That was really good.
That was
Which
pretty
one was
funny.
that? I don't even.
That was in Morty's Mind Blowers, and
They go to that different like planet or whatever, and
yeah, like
Yeah.
Morty has to like flip a switch, and then he's like flips the wrong switch, and
They
then
have to
Rick's
go to
Oh,
like a
yeah, right,
U-Haul like storage
Yeah, yeah.
complex, and there's just
Oh, right,
bodies
right,
in
right.
it.
Yeah. That was pretty good. But
It was less comedy bits and more of just episodes that didn't have enough juice to make them full episodes.
yeah.
I agree. The next one is probably my least favorite of the.
Which
I
one was
just
that?
didn't like. It was the ABCs of Beth.
Oh, is that the one where they go into
Tommy,
Floopy
yeah.
Land?
I just
Floopy?
didn't like it.
Fruity Land.
Yeah.
I didn't even think it was
Fruity.
funny.
oh,
Yeah.
Fruity Land where he has sex with the Fruity Land animals.
I thought that was
Yeah.
kind of
And then
funny.
eats
Yeah.
them.
Or he's
Yeah.
like, there's like that little play that they put on. Like, I'm gonna hump this tree. I'm
Yeah.
gonna hump this rock. I'm gonna hump this beast and put my seed in it.
It's just a little kid saying it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a kind of weak. I don't know. I just thought it was like
It was
a
weak. It was good
episode.
for Beth's development as a character.
Yeah.
Mm.
the
Yeah,
whole
it kind of
issue
touches
of-
on like her being like crazy
Yeah.
as well, like
Yeah.
totally crazy,
Yeah.
especially when she was like little.
Oh yeah, true. Well, actually, one of my favorite jokes was when he was like pulling everything out of the box. He's like a taser and blah 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 and rainbow duct tape
Oh,
or something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It was just like what?
Fake cop badge.
yeah. It was there were some good moments, and that was the one with Jerry and his girlfriend, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the one. Yeah, Kiara.
Kiara, which
Jerry dates an
also
alien.
kind of
What do you guys think of Jerry as like a character? 'Cause some people really just never want him in. Like when they got the divorce, I was talking to some people and they were like, "Thank God, I like never get to see
Oh,
Jerry."
I love
again."
Jerry.
I don't mind Jerry as long as he's with Beth, because they work to cancel each other out.
Yeah,
He's almost like the punchline at the end of her setup.
Yeah.
I mean, he says so many stupid
Hungry for
dad-like
Apples is
things
still
that-
one of my favorite.
Oh my god.
Or
Oh,
like human music.
I heard that
I should get a raise.
Who's the one,
Yes.
who's the one
Yes.
who voices Jerry?
Chris Parnell.
I heard that he wasn't voicing Jerry anymore. Is that true?
Oh really?
Like for the next
Fucking
season?
better be.
I loved. I think it was in Rick Mancing the Stone, the Mad Max, because that's like the first episode you see Jerry like moving out, and there's just like a wind that's blowing.
Yeah.
That was really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that was
The
pretty
dog
great.
or whatever. Like,
Yeah. But
Yeah.
overall, yeah, I mean, I like Jerry. I think that he says he has so many dumb lines that I just love, and he says like
Yeah.
randomly.
Yeah, definitely.
I like his dumb lines because he believes his own dumb lines.
Yeah.
And that's why it just
I will
works.
say though, Jerry like pisses me off sometimes. I just get mad for some reason because I'm like,
Yeah, I think that, but I think that's part of it. I
Yeah,
think that
that's what you're
that's
supposed
who his
to.
character is, and they bring that up in the Whirly Jarly Conspiracy.
yeah,
The fact that Jerry is he's like this fucking prey that like you want to see succeed, so you want to help him out to see him do great
yeah,
things.
but then it just kind of like,
But like that's
ropes you in.
who he is by nature. Yeah. So I think yeah, if Jerry's like frustrating at all, I think that's entirely intentional from the writers.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that comes back in the ABCs of Beth
Yeah.
with just him breaking up with Kiara
Yeah.
and blaming
Blaming his children.
Rick and
yeah.
Summer, not Rick
Yeah.
and Summer, Morty and Summer.
Morty and Summer, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I like the what was it, the after credit sequence at that episode where it was the answering machine. And he's like, by the way, I fucked your your alien girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think the Fruity Land thing was kind of underused. I wanted them to stay in Fruity Land a little bit longer, but also
Yeah.
I mean it also was good for Beth to realize that how much she is like her father. There were two moments in the episode where she says, that she's like I'm just like my father. The first time she says it, she's really sad, you know, and then the second time she says it is when she's like killing all the fucking Fruity Land characters, and she's like, oh, I'm just like my father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how he was like, Rick was like, I created Fruity Land not to like help you out, but to like protect everyone else from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dark. Do you guys think that she decided to become a clone?
I don't know. There's been so many times where Beth is like, I need to be my own woman, and I hate
Does it even
my
matter?
life.
It doesn't
and
even
everything.
matter.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter, no.
Cause like,
Well, it does kind of matter because if she is a clone, and then that kind of explains. Well,
then, like,
it's
Rick
weird
and Morty
logic of like
aren't
why
even
she goes
in-
back with Jerry, but like, if she's not a clone and she gets back with Jerry because she thinks she's a clone, that's just sort of interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, but also like Rick and Morty aren't even in the real universe. That, you know, they're in a different
true, yeah,
universe
yeah.
because they're
They're actually in a different one also than we thought they were.
yeah.
Because of the whole squirrel thing.
Yeah.
'Cause of the
Morty's
squirrel
mind
thing, yeah.
blowers. They're like, oh, we gotta change
So you
universes.
don't even
So now we don't know where they are.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Yeah.
But I think it's like it serves as like a good way to like I think it, like for Beth it matters at least if she's a clone.
Yeah.
And because it matters for her, it matters for all of us.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it really matters.
Yeah.
Everyone, they could all be clones, and then they could make an episode where it's just like they were all clones all along, like
Yeah.
swimming in a pool of Szechuan sauce or something.
You
Yeah,
know,
seriously.
Josh, you say this is good for Beth's character development, but it's not because at the end of the episode it doesn't matter.
She's
It
just
does
back-
matter.
She's just back to being how she was before everything happened.
Okay,
Yeah.
listen. We can get all philosophical here and say, if there's a clone of Beth, is she the same Beth?
Well, she has all the same memories.
So is that
it's
all
the
that
same
makes a
thing with, like,
person
Blade
a
Runner.
person?
It's the same thing like Blade Runner.
If I put all my memories into your body and you put all your memories into my body, if
Well,
we
hold
freaky,
on. With Blade Runner,
if
that
we-
is so dumb that Decker's a replicant.
he's not.
Did you guys
He
Yes,
is
he
a
is.
replicant?
No,
That's
he's
the whole-
not. Did you
Deckard
see
is.
the new
Yes,
one?
they age. That was the whole point.
No, he's not a replicant.
Yes, his daughter
Oh
is
my
of
God,
two
he's not a
replicants.
no, his
Yes.
daughter is
No.
of replicant
Wait,
and
did you guys go
non-replicant.
see it?
No.
I saw 24/9. I have not seen the original, so maybe I'm.
No, but they
Oh, you
don't.
saw the
they
new one?
I've seen
Yeah, I sure saw
neither.
the
they
new
leave
one.
it specifically ambiguous in both movies.
Don't spoil
Wait.
anything. I haven't seen it yet.
But then the
I'm
director's-
telling you, it's ambiguous.
Are you talking about the woman who makes the memories?
Yeah.
That's his daughter.
Yes.
That's his
So
daughter.
her mother was a replicant because we see that's
Yes.
his
Yes.
but he's
But it's never
he is
it's
a
never
replicant.
stated that
He
he
is
is.
a
In the
replicant.
director's
I'm
cut, they
hearing
make it
replicant and
evident. They make it
non-replicant.
evident that he is, and the director even
They
came
make it
out.
evident.
Yes.
What's the evidence?
The
What's
director did
evidence?
come
That
out
he
and
puts
say,
in fake memories. In
Even
Deckard's
Denis
mind.
Villeneuve, the director of 2049,
The director came out though for the first
he
one.
said that it's ambiguous as to whether or not he's a replicant in both movies.
Yeah,
Did you guys
'cause
like
he
that?
wants it to be that way, but that's
What'd
not
you
what
think
the
of it?
original
It is-
I thought it
it's
was pretty good. I
ambiguous.
didn't think it was. I mean, maybe I should also see the first one, but I thought it was pretty good.
No,
was
because
alright.
how could
It was
Blade
you,
Runner
alright.
is so fucking boring. I didn't realize that until I was like 2 hours into 2049 and my butt hurt so
oh my
much.
god, I loved it.
Just like
We're gonna do
just
it.
just listening to talking.
We
the
are gonna
entire
do a
time.
Blade Runner episode,
Epic
and
Blade
we're
Runner
gonna fucking
episode. I gotta-
clash.
I gotta
'cause
watch it.
I
Isn't this
fucking
just kind
loved
of
it.
turning into the Blade Runner episode
I know,
right now?
I know. I loved it. I thought it was great.
I thought it was pretty
Wow.
good. Yeah.
But
Alright, I'm
you
gonna
can't
watch
say
it soon.
definitively that Deckard is a
Friday.
replicant or
I'm gonna
not.
go
It's
Friday.
And if the
So
writer and
yeah.
director says it
I
is.
might
the
watch
writer
the
director
original.
haven't
You can
said
already
that
buy,
it is. No one
Of the
agrees.
original,
tickets,
yes.
did you know?
Of the
That's
original.
why the director's cut came
So
out.
We're
sorry,
having two different
everybody.
conversations. Actually.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
Why-
that's the
the
point of
trailer
this
No.
one.
sucks
Is
so
that
much.
that's why
If
she's a
we're-
miracle. She's
Yeah, but
of
no, you can
two
buy tickets.
replicants.
She's
Yeah,
a
see it
she's a
now.
miracle because she's of a replicant and non-replicant. Also, that would also make her a miracle.
But
All
movie
right,
pass,
all right. You know what?
No,
You're
get-
done. You're done.
Bring the mic back over here.
We were
She
just
can
having
still-
like 3 different.
What's the next
conversations.
episode?
So the
No,
last
we're not done
episode
talking
is
about fucking ABCs of Beth because you
the
said
Rick and Morty.
no. He
No.
said
Oh, okay.
because he said he doesn't think that it's good for Beth, and I think that I think that it is good for Beth.
But again, I think it.
I think
comes
it
back
does
to a
matter
more-
whether or not she's a clone.
Yes, but I mean,
Like I was saying, it matters for her. So
does it
matters for
matter
everyone
that
else.
the Cronenberg, Beth Summer, and Jerry are just like these weird? Like,
Are they dead
crazy
now?
people?
I think they're
I think they're dead. I think
Oh,
they
are
got
they
they got
dead?
frozen.
They got
Yeah.
killed in the first episode. Of
No,
the
they got
season.
frozen.
Who?
We don't know
Wait.
if they're actually dead.
I'm pretty sure that kills you though.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Wait,
Jerry
who-
was frozen when they
Oh,
took
right,
the
the
guy.
guy.
That is true,
Well, so
but they
when
never got
they-
unfrozen.
I think it was
That's
Rick Potion number 9 where he makes the love potion and he keeps fucking it up because he's trying to like cure it, but people have the flu. Ends up the whole world gets the virus and they get fucked up, so they leave, they bail. In the Rick Shank Redemption, they go back there for a second because Morty wants to show Summer like, no, fuck Rick, like this. Look at what he did to this world, and then just bailed.
Yeah.
But then like the Ricks from the Citadel come there and like freeze those people, and they take Morty and Summer because they're like, we
Right.
have your father, we're about to kill him.
yeah.
So I forgot about that.
Yes.
So are they
But-
dead?
I thought
guess
they
they're
I
dead.
thought they shattered them, or maybe I'm
Maybe they did. I
Maybe
mean,
I'm-
either way, if they're
I don't remember.
frozen, if
Whatever.
they're living in that universe, who cares?
either way.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like we could say these things don't matter, but like
To Rick, they
Also-
really don't matter. Though.
Yeah,
he's
that's
like, yeah, I'll
kinda-
clone
that
you.
is-
I'll clone my daughter and let you just like I don't care.
yeah.
don't
If
know.
we're looking at it from a Rick point of view, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But like, is that really how we want to view it? Because I think the show goes out of its way to tell us that Rick kind of has a fucked up view of the world.
and Morty does care about it. That's why
Yeah.
he calls him. Is just like, you fucking clone
Like,
my
did you
mom,
clone
get
my
the
mom?
fuck in,
Yeah,
you know,
because
we're
it
hiding
does sort of
from you.
matter.
Matters
For,
to Morty.
for whatever
yeah.
reason, like we can get all philosophical and be like, if we Freaky Friday'd each other, like, are you me and am I you? Is memory and consciousness all that makes a person? You know?
Yeah.
And that's a good question. Like, if Beth was really cloned and the other Beth, the Beth Prime is out there like living it up,
I kind of hope she's a clone.
if she
then.
just fucking ditched her fucking kids.
But what about this even too? Like in the Rick Shank Redemption, when he's just taking the bodies of all the other Ricks that he's like killing, like he's not in his own body at all. You know, he dies in like the chair, then he morphs and while he's flying up to the ship. So, I mean, if they're playing it like that,
That's true. Yeah.
then it draws even more questions. Like he's not in his body at all, but he's got his same soul or mind with him. So
Yeah, but I think it still would be fucked up to think that the original Beth chose to leave her children behind.
yeah,
I think
definitely.
I
I
think
kind
to
of
me
wish.
that's
I kind of hope that she's a clone though, because I could see some really good episodes.
Yeah.
coming out of
Yeah.
that.
yeah, where the original Beth comes back.
Yeah.
Or even if it's just original Beth off-world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Even
Having her own
In
like
the,
Beth
uh,
adventures, like Beth and Morty.
Beth and Morty.
the title sequence there. I mean, there are some things that definitely were not shown. I don't think at all, even in like the
Oh.
post credits. I think
Yeah, there was like
a weird summer like robot.
yeah.
I don't think they showed that. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know if
Wait,
I watched every like.
and the
end
part where like
credits.
Rick like takes Morty off the shelf. And there's like a
Yeah,
store full of Mortys.
that was not in it. That was just in like the title sequence. They have like a bunch of stuff that's animated that you never see.
There's also the Cthulhu thing that still hasn't
true.
come into play.
because they had that like when like the schoolboys are like coming out during that
Yeah.
they come out of the window. That was in it.
And the hammer like falling on
Oh
the
yeah,
that was
great.
I thought that was gonna be an actual thing.
Me too.
Same.
Yeah, I
At
was
the
so
end of Pickle
confused.
Rick, right?
I was confused at that. Like, was it just there to be there?
That was in Pickle Rick. Yeah.
It
It was
very
post-credits,
end of
Pickle
is
Rick.
The guy
Yeah.
that he like saves in Pickle Rick.
I remember watching it though, and it
Kills
was
the
kind of
guy.
like, I was like, what? What is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. That would have been a cool full episode.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll revisit it then.
Who
Who
knows?
knows?
So episode 10.
Yeah, let's get to the final
The
one.
Return
final
Morty
episode.
Day, which was I mean the whole Minecraft thing. That probably the funniest
Yeah.
line maybe of the
Yeah.
season that I loved was Rick going.
Is this
"Is
game for people with
popular
autism?
yeah, and then he's like, "Why would you say that?" Because I'm starting to love it. That was really funny.
That was really funny.
I really like that too because I think it's like the whole Minecraft like thing kind of fizzled out.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
But like everyone remembers.
Yeah.
Like the only people who play Minecraft I think now is like I know my little brother plays it.
I know my younger cousins play it. Yeah.
My niece
Yeah.
plays it.
Yeah.
But like I like how they just like came back and just brought back the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they're like in the world too,
Yeah,
the
that was really
Minecraft
funny, 'cause
world.
They're playing like VR Minecraft.
Yeah.
I think he took them to a dimension that was Minecraft.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Was
So
it, or
glad
was
they
it?
Yeah.
did
I think it was just
Because
VR.
It's a
I'm
VR.
pretty
They
sure
had-
didn't
they
they
had
have to
headsets
portal
on.
out?
I don't know.
Oh,
Oh,
no, I
maybe.
don't think they put it. I
No,
think they
it
did
was
just
like a
take off
VR
goggles.
set that like
That
transported.
he just like built for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird. Yeah. What about the
Episode
whole,
was
like-
pretty. I mean, the episode was pretty crazy, especially when Rick like made himself invincible, and they were
When-
in the Oval Office doing that.
I love what-
crazy
I
shit.
love-
He's like, don't
all-
touch me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was
yeah,
great.
yeah.
I love also that he just like creates world peace in like Israel or whatever, and
yeah.
just
What
to
was
like,
the name of the like Accords or whatever that they signed?
It's like it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when
yeah.
it comes
And
down
he's,
to
like,
it or
he's
something.
on the phone with Beth. They're like smoking someone. Rick's like,
yeah.
yeah, it's all good, it's all good. And then, I loved when the president went to that woman's like, Rick and Morty here. She goes, yeah, they have a teleporting gun. They just
Yeah.
showed up.
You know, I'm kind of upset. I was listening to a podcast about this episode, and they brought something up, and they were like, I feel like the fight between Rick and the president was like too on the president's side. Like the president should not have been able to like beat Rick up as much as he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to be a joke of like the
Kinda-
president has like all this power to secret government
Yeah.
shit. Like he hit someone in the wall and like two little kids came out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
started
The
fighting.
whistle and
And they
everything,
had
yeah.
these crazy
was-
weapons that were just like in the
that
wall
was
of the White
funny,
House.
yeah.
So I guess it's just a play on somehow
The
The
Yeah.
giant
president's
portal machine, whatever.
Yeah,
He walks
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Oh yeah, from space to like shot
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fucking crazy.
Even just like Morty going head to head with the president, they were yelling like Commander in Queef, like
Yeah.
it was pretty funny. But then
It
I
was-
feel like the ending was just
So
not good. Like
lackluster.
I
Yeah.
wasn't satisfied by the end. I thought it was
Yeah.
weak.
I mean, it was a good episode, but
Not
I
a
also
finale. Not a
I
finale.
didn't
Yeah.
think of it as a finale. I mean, I like actually didn't even know it was the finale.
Yeah.
For
Maybe
some
it was
reason.
also because the Wedding Squanchers was such a fucking good finale.
Yeah.
And then like Rick
Yeah.
giving up and like having I think
Yeah.
it was Hurt by Johnny Cash that was playing like a different
Was
version
it?
of it.
It was.
Maybe.
I think it was the original version by 9 Inch Nails.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, right, because he covered that. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, wild. I that was such a good finale. That maybe
Yeah,
it was-
this
Yeah.
season or this
Yeah.
show has like consistently had good finales, and then this one just kind of ends.
I feel
think
like
it's-
since this wasn't as good as a finale as it should be, like people are gonna be like really wanting the new season
Yeah.
even more than last time, and it's gonna like put a lot of pressure on the writers and
Yeah.
the creators and everything
Yeah.
to like pump out episodes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think this was a finale, but this was my favorite episode.
Really?
Yeah. Because it was just old school Rick and Morty fucking around in their universe, having fun, showing sort of the ability of Rick and the infinite possibilities of the world that they're in.
I think it being
Yeah.
being a poor finale doesn't make it a bad episode because
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I think it's a really
exactly.
good
We all had a lot of
episode.
good things to say about
that's
the
why that's
episode.
why I think it's my favorite episode, but it just doesn't really work as a finale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. One thing
Maybe
that I
it's
thought was
not.
kind of funny was the president like they like had like the portal thing like that so the president could go through, but they flew it in on a helicopter. Why not just fly the president in on the helicopter?
Yeah.
It didn't
Yeah.
make any
He's, like,
sense.
trying to
Was it
show off.
drones or it was an actual?
It was
like,
like a helicopter, like, landed
they sent
down.
like a military unit in to prepare the portal for him.
And
to
then they
come.
had to,
So
they had
why
to like
can't he
light it
use
with
it?
a lighter. Like, And he walks through. I was like, why not
I
just
didn't even really think
put
about
him on the
shrinks.
helicopter?
He has to take a pill to shrink.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
when he's growing and Rick and Morty gave him a shirt but no pants because, and I quote, he likes to swing his dick around.
Yeah.
I think that was perfect.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Yeah, it was definitely a good episode, but
I was
finale.
like, damn, that was a
Maybe it's
finale.
not. Maybe there's
Maybe
like
it
Yeah,
isn't.
it's
Hopefully
not.
it isn't.
I
It's
saw something.
already
People
got
were
a
thinking
week
that we're gonna get like a
episode,
Christmas
so-
special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we said too.
Because of that Mr. Butthole thing at the end where he says, I'll be back maybe with a big white beard.
Yeah, and then I think Rick mentions that he says something about Doctor Who. He's like, I'm Doctor Who up in this motherfucker or something. And Doctor Who's known for their Christmas specials, or just for having Christmas specials. So I don't know. I think it might just be us looking into it, but
Hopefully.
it would be nice.
I'd love to see another episode. It's like finale or
Yeah.
something like that. Or even just an episode.
And there's also in Morty's Mind Blowers, there's like a little image of them burying Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, that is a thing that happened.
Yeah, that
Really?
happened.
I gotta
Oh,
look back at that.
I,
and see.
yeah, I gotta look back at that.
Yeah.
I just keep, also, it's so funny. The door has like a little window, and I've seen like 10 people
Yeah.
come, like, look.
They look in and then they just did.
Yeah.
All right, so we reached the end of the season.
Yeah.
I guess we can just go into concluding thoughts.
Concluding thoughts.
I mean, we already
I
kind of.
mean, maybe it's because also we had just talked about BoJack, and now like after BoJack, I'm so
BoJack.
excited for a new season of BoJack Horseman.
So good.
With this season of Rick and Morty, it's like I feel like now I'm just gonna be passively waiting for it. It's not like I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
when's it? Like if they come up with a Christmas special, cool, I'll definitely watch it and be like, okay. But I'm definitely, just because of this season overall, I don't think I'm gonna be like as into. I mean, seasons 1 and 2, I rewatched them prepping up for season 3 because I was like, wow, these are really great episodes. I think I'm just gonna be more laid back about it now because it didn't
Yeah.
impress me as much as like we talked about BoJack
I think that,
did. So.
I don't know. I think that if there's a Christmas episode, or if like the creators kind of like get their shit together, or if they show me that they know what they're doing, because it's kind of like a disorganized season, disorganized. I don't think that's a word. Anyways, if they like prove that for the new season or this like potential Christmas episode, then I'll like this season a lot more. But right now, it's just like it feels like a lot of good episodes, but no like real direction, or not like a good direction. So all right, not my favorite. Same with what you were saying, Tim, about the passively waiting. More excited for BoJack, really excited for the new season of that. But yeah,
They're
that's
saying
my
like
thoughts.
it's gonna come out soon.
Yeah, it's really not.
Season 4 is like a few weeks old. They're gonna be probably take a fucking year. To come out with that shit.
Yeah.
Which that makes me like, oh, Rick and Morty. Now I'm kind of like, all right,
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good.
Nathan.
I mean, the season of Rick and Morty has like low points, but at the same time, I feel like the high points like hit it for me, and I really liked it overall.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the first season I've actually gotten to watch like live because
Okay, yeah.
because I didn't get into it until April for the April Fools
Right.
when they showed the first episode of season 3.
Yeah.
And yeah, I liked it. Liked
Yeah.
it overall.
Liked it. Is it? Have you seen the other 2 seasons?
I have. I went back and watched
Okay,
the other
good.
2 seasons
Cool.
to prep for this one.
So yeah, so that's sort of interesting to me. So you watched the first 2 seasons and then so you're still like you watched them chronologically.
Yeah, but the first episode I ever saw was the first episode
Right.
of season 3.
Right. Okay.
It's a good episode to say. Might
yeah.
be like confusing, but I think we were talking about that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still a really good.
I mean, it was
episode.
good enough to where I went back and watched the other 2 seasons.
yeah.
That entices me, for sure.
Yeah, and how do you rank the season into like what's your favorite season?
I'd probably say this
one really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I liked, even though it wasn't a good finale, I did like the Recturing Candidate, and Tales from the Citadel was really good.
Yeah.
Also, the first episode, Rick
First-
Shank
yeah.
Redemption. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rick Shank Redemption. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, like, when I'm, like, sitting in my box, all homeless, and, you know, I'm not gonna, like, be saving up my pennies to buy a TV to watch, like, the new season of Rick and Morty. If it's on in, like, one of those TV stores or whatever, if those are still things,
TV
you know, I might give a watch, but if it's the previous seasons, you know, it's a different story. I might just steal a TV, become a criminal,
You can
but
plug it in.
Yeah.
Don't ask me those questions, man. You know,
All right,
cocaine's robbing my
Boyd?
brain.
This third season has very little rewatch value for me. I remember watching seasons 1 and 2 so many times over and over, especially the classic ones like Interdimensional Cable and stuff like that. So I would like to see them getting back to their old groove in season 4, and I think they very smartly sort of reset themselves to do that at the end of this season.
Yeah.
I think they know that the way they did season 3 didn't really work. And I think that's why the finale felt kind of like all that stuff at the end where they're like, it'll be just like seasons 1 and 2, but more streamlined. I think they realize what went wrong and they know how to fix it, which is why I am excited for season 4, but I think you guys are right. I don't think it's going to be as hyped as this season was.
Which maybe is good, you know.
Yeah, I think that'll help take some pressure off them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm pretty much just going to agree with all of you. It's not my favorite season. I think it has some great moments. I think it has some really great episodes. But in terms of like consistency, I don't really think it lives up to the other. And quotability also, which is something you really, I think any TV show should just like strive for. It's just having quotability. And like there are many times where like you would say the name of an episode and of this season, and I was like, oh, which one was that? Like, or I'm like trying to remember what happened in that episode. But like you can ask me, you can tell me about an episode in season 1, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the one where this happens, and this character is there, and he says this at that point. And it's like I couldn't really do that with this season.
I think they were just better episodes. I think this season just did.
And then also what
overall,
I brought up. Yeah, also what I brought up before, which was like I feel like this episode was very dependent on references and homages and kind of just like taking ideas from things that are popular now in pop culture. You know, like the fucking Vindicators episode. It's no secret that the Avengers and superhero movies are very popular nowadays. And I think that was just a response to that. And it's like, okay, but that's not what Rick and Morty is. Rick and Morty isn't supposed to be like responses to things that are happening right now. Like,
yeah. I mean, actually thinking about that episode again, though, I do think that they recognize like, yeah, superheroes are really prevalent, so let's do some with superheroes. But they kind of flip it, whereas you know normally they're striving. Maybe the whole gang of superheroes is striving to like kill this one guy.
Right.
And there, like Rick does it immediately, and then the whole thing is just Rick fucking with them. So I now actually thinking about that kind of actually makes me like it more that they. Yeah, exactly. He's drunk and fucked up, and he's fucking with this clan of superheroes. But I still definitely agree. There was a lot more like
it felt less original to me.
Putting Rick and Morty in scenarios that are already like
it almost felt like
done.
This is gonna sound horrible and sort of like I don't mean it to sound like the way it's gonna sound, but just take it as it is. But like I'm almost feeling like the ideas for these episodes are like things that we could have come up with. You know, like that's the thing. It was like I could have like sat in the writer's room and been like, oh, what if we do like an Avengers parody, or like, oh, what if we do a fucking Die Hard parody? You know, it's
where
just
I think
like
normally like they come up with shit that I never would have thought about.
Yeah.
Like M. Night Shyamalan Aliens, I love that episode.
Yeah,
And like just within a unit, within another, all that simulation.
It's like in previous seasons, like I would have never come up with that shit. Yeah. The fucking episode with the, I mean, it's also sort of just like the thing, but like the one with like the parasite in the room, and then like, it's like
oh no, that's not a Rick on Time.
That's where Mr. Poopy Butthole.
That's where he shows up. Like that whole like I would have never been able to come up with that. And obviously these like they are known for their references and homages to older science fiction or like lesser known science fiction. But this one, for this season, they just chose like the most basic references and homages I feel like that they could. And I don't know, it was just lackluster.
Yeah. Overall, I was a little disappointed with the season overall. I think that's how I'll leave it.
Agreed.
Slightly disappointed. I still liked a lot of it, a lot of fun stuff here and there, but overall, I just didn't feel like it lived up to my false expectations. Maybe that's right. I should just.
I found myself after each episode, like when someone was like, "Oh, how is it?" I always found myself saying, "Oh, it was great. It was a great episode." But like sitting here and talking it out with all of you and like looking at the season as a whole, it doesn't feel right. You know, something about it just doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
But I think there's some great moments that kind of like save it and some really good episodes in this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Got Yaz all
That
around.
was a very somber ending.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pose a question.
Yep.
Tim and Dante, where can they find us?
Ooh, you can find us
Better
on
pay
both
attention.
Twitter and Instagram at thetakeupreel.
Patreon.
and-
No, wrong.
No.
Oh, it's
Patreon.
Wrong.
It's just take
Just
It's
take
at
up
Take
real.
Up Real.
Just
Sorry.
Yes.
Patreon.
I'm fired.
Patreon. That's right. Patreon.
Patreon.
Ooh, I'm
How-
learning things. I like this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wait,
Am
so
I supposed to
Instagram,
do it?
it's just take up real
Yeah.
as well. So Twitter and Instagram,
Yep.
just take
Yes.
up real,
And then
not the.
where else?
Patreon. Wait, do we have Facebook?
Yes, we do have a
Facebook. Is that the Take Up Reel?
It's yeah, you
is?
just search the Take
And
Up
what
Real.
about Patreon? It's just Take Up Reel or
Just
both?
search the Take Up
I have
Real.
no idea.
Just search the Take Up Reel. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a Gmail.
It's
You
a
guys know
Gmail.
what the Gmail is?
Thetakeupreel@gmail.com.
There you
Ah,
go.
there you
That
go.
one.
There you
Good
go.
problem
Only 'cause
solver
I was
over
looking to listen over there.
And
You can also you can find this episode wherever you're listening to it right now. You can find it on iTunes, find it on Stitcher, which I think Stitcher is a great app for podcasting.
we have like 5 downloads all the time on Stitcher.
I know, but
I'm
still,
pretty sure they're
I
all
always-
from you.
I always like to pitch Stitcher because I think people should
Hit up
get
Stitcher. I have no idea.
Stitcher's good. I think because it's for Android also. I think it's available on Android. So like if you don't have the podcast app on iPhones, then Stitcher's the way to go. Yeah,
That's where you
Nathan.
can
More
find us.
inclusive.
Nathan, this was your first episode on Take It Real.
Yes, it
How
was.
was your experience?
I liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. So
I
we
liked
could-
it mainly because I knew what we were talking about.
Yeah.
There we go.
So we could expect to see you in on future episodes.
Yeah.
I
Alright,
gotta
good.
see Blade Runner, and then we.
Yeah. Look forward to that fucking Blade Runner episode. I'm gonna.
Should I
I
watch
just
the
looked
original?
up the
Yeah,
actual,
I would
like,
watch the original.
interviews
Yeah,
with
I'm gonna
people.
watch
It's kind of a lot though.
Listen,
to watch,
like,
but
listen.
still.
You could bring up
I'm
whatever
trying to relate it to,
interviews
like,
you want.
comedians.
All
Yeah.
I'm saying is
Because I
use
hate-
the
I don't want
evidence
to.
My
that's in the
Nancy and
fucking
Alien,
movie.
No,
I
but
love
it's not.
Korean
There's
Use
no
the
evidence.
evidence
Just
that's in the
comedians and
fucking
Nancy and
movie
Alien, I definitely
because
would
there isn't any.
watch
It's all
Alien
ambiguous.
as well.
That's
Even though
all I'm saying.
That's what I'm going to do this weekend. I'm going to go watch the original
Watch
and
the
then I'm
we're
going
doing
to
the same thing.
go see the new one.
Watch the fucking director's cut that he's talking about.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
there's
saw
a
it on,
million
like,
cuts of it.
I
So.
saw it on TV one day. Like they were playing 3 different versions of Blade Runner,
Oh, really?
and I was like, why are there 3 versions?
They're all
of
very
this?
different. So
Yeah.
um,
Well,
But yeah,
Is there
well,
one?
why-
Is there one you recommend I watch?
the director's cut is
Director's
probably
Cut
the
is
one to
the
watch.
definitive
Yeah.
one.
I'll go back and watch that one because I haven't
And
seen it in a
then go
while.
watch the new one, 2049, because
I'll probably watch that this Friday or something like that.
I loved it. I'll tell you that much. I loved it. We're fuck.
thing is- the
I
thing
want to
is,
talk
right-
about it right now. This is pissing me off.
We won't. So here, but
We
Ridley
won't.
Scott
We're
says
gonna-
he's a
we're gonna
replicant.
save-
Harrison Ford says he's
save.
not a replicant.
Maybe
I
still,
don't
yeah.
want him to be a replicant because that ruins
So,
everything.
so I don't know why you're taking what these people want into account. Listen, the fucking guy
they
who
made the
invented the
movie.
fucking guy who invented GIFs said they're pronounced GIFs, and yet everyone decides to pronounce them GIF.
It's
I say
GIF. It's
Oh, I
GIF,
say GIF.
I say
definitely.
GIF.
Okay,
Yeah, I
well, a
say
lot of other
GIF.
people.
I avoid
Come
saying
up
the
with
word.
a better
Why
fucking
do you-
analogy,
I avoid
Josh.
saying the word.
You avoid saying it.
Yep.
You just spell
You
it
just
out.
say-
GIF.
You just say funny short internet things.
Yeah.
No, I usually just say, "Hey, look at this."
Yeah. True.
Look.
But still,
Well-
all I'm saying is like you can't take what like people want into account. You got to take the evidence presented to you, and the evidence is there is no evidence.
Well,
Ridley
it's all
Scott,
let's have
ambiguous.
people look forward
Okay,
to
you
that
know what?
one.
We're saving this.
We're saving
We're
it.
saving this.
Fuck it. End the episode. I'm ending it. I'm
Put
hitting the
a pin.
space bar now. See you all on the next one.
Bye.